All right. Again, Brian Wallace, JC Engineering. We're the designer for this project. You're on behalf of the town of Wareham. This is a shared use path that is running um, along Narrows Road and Minot Avenue. It starts near the intersection of Narrows Road and Sandwich Road, which is also known as Main Street, Route 6. The path will continue on the south side of Narrows Road, and then through to Minot Avenue, and will terminate at the intersection of Depot Street and Great Neck Road. The project length is 1.77 miles total, and the project is funded through the 2030 TIP program for SERPID. So just a bit of an overview on the project. So again, we're looking at an 8 to 10 foot wide shared use path. 10 foot is the preferred minimum width. However, there are a few areas where we are looking at an 8 foot wide path to avoid significant environmental impacts. We're working through that with DOT and have submitted a design justification workbook. And we believe that that will be approved. We just had to make a few tweaks to it. Again, as I mentioned, it's funded through the 2030 TIP program. As far as objectives of the project go, so a long-term objective, I know a lot of folks here are familiar, again, with the South Coast Bikeway. This is just one leg of that that would span from Rhode Island to Cape Cod. In the short term objective, this is going to significantly improve the safety and accessibility for bicyclists and pedestrians along this roadway corridor. The path is intended to replace an existing 5 foot wide sidewalk. And currently there are no bicycle facilities along this roadway. The project will also involve, improved signage, striping, lighting, and pedestrian connections to adjoining roads and residential areas. So as I mentioned, the criteria, the 10 foot wide path is preferred. We do go down to 8 foot in certain areas. We're maintaining a minimum 5 foot separation to the edge of the roadway. And where it is feasible, we are trying to increase that separation distance. As part of the project, we would be proposing some widening of the roadway and shifting of the center line to allow for that space needed for the path. And we are also looking at drainage improvements throughout the project corridor to accommodate additional runoff generated by the path, and also to sort of upgrade the existing infrastructure that is present along these roadways that are fairly substandard. And in doing the above, we're hoping to minimize impacts to existing private property, utility infrastructure, and again, those environmentally sensitive areas. So just some of the potential challenges we have we're dealing with right now. So in terms of the environmental permitting, there are quite a few wetlands along this project corridor. We have several wetland systems, some salt marsh, coastal banks, and we also have an area where there's Chapter 91 historical jurisdiction that we're working with Mass DOT and their environmental division on that. We have environmental justice populations within 1 mile of the project. And we also have Article 97 directly adjacent to this project and within the footprint of the path. So that's something we're actively working through. There are also culturally sensitive areas in certain areas of the project. And we have been for a few years now coordinating mitigation efforts in terms of that with the Mass DOT Cultural Resources Unit. So these are just a few of the areas. This is a map that shows the EJ populations and their proximity to the project. Again, there is a minority population directly north along the project corridor, and income populations to the east and to the west. This is where the Chapter 91 jurisdiction is something that we're looking at right now, and historical licenses that exist to sort of navigate that process. And again, we're coordinating that with DOT. And then also, the project is pretty close to coastal areas, coastal resource areas, again, including salt marshes and adjoining wetland systems. And we have open space. So this project directly abuts the Minot Forest, which is listed as Article 97 lands, and portions of the path are going directly through that as they are directly adjacent to the roadway. So that is a little tricky, and we're working on navigating that process and seeing what sort of disposition of land we're looking at. So the current status, this project has been underway actually since 2018, and there was a bit of hiatus due to funding issues from 2021 to 2023. And a Mass Trails grant allowed us to sort of proceed with the design and the permitting of the project. So we submitted a revised 25% package to Mass DOT in summer 2025. We had a comment resolution meeting to discuss some of their feedback on those plans. That was held last month on December 11th. We are aiming for a spring 2026 design public hearing, and are hoping to advance the project to the 75% stage at that time. We anticipate the 100% design completion next year, 2027, and construction would begin in 2030, according to the Mass DOT program. However, if the funding allows it, we could possibly get underway sooner than that. And the estimated total federal participating cost is at about 8.98 million right now, and our latest construction cost estimate came in just under that, around 7.5 million, I believe. So that is the end of my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Brian. Any questions? Okay.
One question, Jackie. I think the last time we had this project up, I think it was on the tip for around $5 million. So that means it's going to be a fairly substantial increase again.
No, I think the last time it was around 8 million. So I think it might actually be a decrease.
My paperwork has 5 something.
Okay, I will double check, but
If you could, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because as it is, you know that the support for the town administration-wise is difficult because of the dollar amount.
okay. But I think it should be important to note that that construction dollar amount is covered through the tip. It wouldn't impact costs to the.
I understand. It's just, we need to make sure everybody's happy.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Okay, Bonnie?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I think it's project is great. I've met with a few people from Wareham who really appreciate that this particular project connects is an important connector between downtown Wareham and Onset Avenue, which connects to Onset Village. And these are really important economic centers in historic Wareham. And so anything that can increase the bicycling and improve its the pleasure of doing it will really, really help in Wareham, and the group of people who are working on it are excited to be able to see it happen.
Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.